Welcome back. I'm Samantha Stone with the Marketing Advisory Network, and here today with me is my friend and marketing maven, Tamara Graves. Tamara is Senior Director of Marketing at Aberdeen Group.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm so excited that you got to join us today to talk about content marketing trends and what you're seeing out there.
Great. One of my favorite topics.
Yeah, excellent. So I know you work with a lot of marketers, and you've been a marketer. We won't talk about our age because that would be giving secrets away that I won't do. But we see a lot of successes, I imagine, in your role. But you also see a lot of failure. What's the biggest mistake marketers are making when it comes to content marketing in general?
I would say one of the things that I see the most and has experienced more earlier in my career is just thinking that there's one piece of content. You know, you focus down and you make one really beautiful piece of content and you think that it's one and done.
Yeah.
But as we've come to know, and all the research has shown, that you have to have many different types of content in many different formats. People consume information in a variety of ways, and usually the objective of content marketing is to educate, to make people aware of a business problem that they may not have known that they've had before, and kind of educate them and take them through the buyer's journey. So if you just concentrate on one piece of content, then you're never going to be able to have that full end-to-end support of a buyer's journey.
You know, it's really interesting that you bring that up. I think the other night we were talking to a friend of ours who actually does training. She's an educator. And she was talking about how people learn differently. And I think, Tamara, you had pointed out applying that to how we do content marketing is really important because people consume and absorb and engage in different ways.
I think so too, and especially it really varies by persona. You know, there's some folks that just respond well to a certain content type, and as a marketer, you know, you may have always sold into the financial world, but it varies on which company you go to because what you're offering might make a difference in a different way to that person's business. So it may be that a white paper really worked great at your last company, but the new service that you're now marketing, maybe it's much more like a video. It really depends on not only who the person is, but what it is that your service or product is solving for.
It'd be great if we could always do the same things over and over.
Exactly.
But those silver bullets don't always exist. So we know that we need to create a lot of content in a variety of formats, and I think you've got a really good point up about how we ingest and engage in different ways depending on not only who we are, but what our current job is and the current organization we sit in. And research shows us that if you assign someone to be responsible for content marketing, that's helpful. How do you integrate the role of content marketing, and how do you measure that within the organization?
Well, I think content is pervasive, especially in B2B marketing. It's really what drives all parts of the business. And at Aberdeen, we try to take an omni-channel approach. We use it throughout our organization. So we'll use it to do sales enablement, to help, you know, give sales the tools that they need to have conversations with customers in a consultative way. We'll use it as just driving awareness for the business and really have a strong content marketing approach and have dedicated blogs to certain topics where we can share more content. And then we'll also use it in demand generation as offers and truly aligning things through the buying cycle to drive lead to revenue. And those people are all measured in a different variety of ways. Each has its own targeted goal, and so we have measurements to align with those different goals. So sales enablement, it may be that you need to provide sales with enough talk tracks or enough information to roll out or support a certain product. In content marketing, they're very much focused in our content marketing group at Aberdeen around creating awareness, creating buzz, creating engagement, so things like blog articles and mentions and cross-links and those type of things. In demand generation, we're more traditionally focused on lead to revenue, so really having a measurement of not only how many leads we pass over to sales, but how those then convert and then ultimately result in revenue. We do have other goals around traffic and that type of thing, but in demand, it really ends up being revenue.
It's all about the money.
Yes.
Or the pipeline and all of those things that lead to it. So at Aberdeen, you mentioned you have a function that's on content marketing. Can you maybe just tell a little bit about how you interface and how do you plan with that function being on the demand generation side?
So we really work closely with the content marketing team. They are going out to market with different research topics. We are a research content marketing services company, so we are doing different research on different business topics. So the content marketing team pairs very closely with our analyst team to learn what's happening in their various practice areas, and so we want to drive demand in concert with that. So whatever the latest industry trends are for, maybe it's healthcare, maybe it's human capital management, maybe it's, you know, technology space. We do a lot of joint editorial planning with them. So
Excellent.
we have that one voice to the marketplace on a given topic during a certain set of time. So then we're all telling the same story and make the biggest impact.
Yeah. Excellent. Tamara, thanks so much for all
Sure.
your thoughts and ideas and understanding a little bit about how Aberdeen works when it comes to content. It's really clear that having a dedicated person or a function is important, but only if it's integrated with the whole organization. Content's everyone's job, and we all have a hard job to do, and coordinating it in a one approach and one voice perspective makes a lot of sense. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.